Hello all my peeps, it's Preston here, also known as Godzilla Hawk, and I'm here with Captain Asshole, also known as Brandon. And today we're going to be giving you guys our Bound for Glory live reactions. Now, of course, Jackie J had to leave a little early if you see the live reactions. They did not have time to review, but I'll give you guys my review on the first, I think it's like 6 matches, I believe. And then we'll let Brandon do the last, I think it was the last 3 matches. And we'll give his thoughts, and if he wants to give his thoughts on the matches I would like to say, and say how, what was his opinion on the results and everything. So we'll do that. But first off, the screen went black.
Yeah, let's switch places.
Yeah.
That's better.
Yeah, there we go. So now, let's move on. The first opener was Tanaka. I'm just calling him Tanaka because I don't know his first name. So we got Tanaka defeating Manic.
Minoru
Tanaka. Minoru.
We'll say Tanaka versus Manic.
Yeah,
now,
Tanaka versus...
Before we go on that, I'm going to want to say something on that. So go ahead, just so you know.
Okay. Overall, this was actually a good opener. They did a lot of cool spots. I do like Tanaka's ability. He kind of reminded me of like a Manic in a way. He did a lot of athletic stuff. Of course, Mac was doing different stuff. Like I said, I'm always a Manic fan. I'm a huge Manic fan. Whether he looks like, the creepy skull guy, the badass one, or he looks like an Ultimate Dragon ripoff, it doesn't matter. I'm always a Manic fan. Just because he was one of the guys that defined X Division, and I know for a fact you agree with me on that. Like I said, it was a great opener. It wasn't very long. It was like a 7-8 minute match, but for what they've done, there was a lot of counters, there's a lot of reversals, there were actually a lot of close calls, a lot more close calls than I thought there were going to be. But at the end, you had Tanaka get him with the cross arm breaker and tap him out. I guess that's his finisher in Wrestle One, which is the company that they're representing Tokyo. So overall, it was a good, well-paced, fast-paced wrestling match.
Hey, isn't that the same submission that Del Rio uses?
Don't even mention him. He doesn't exist.
Del Rio coming to TNA soon.
It's my destiny! Oh, myself.
I hope he doesn't bring that to TNA. That would suck so bad. It was destiny. Hit my truck. Anyways, TNA, I'm just going to say it.
Oh, you might want to scoot in.
I would personally... Scoot in where? Here?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
I would personally like to say that Manic is a great pusher. He's doing a real good job. I would like to see him go back to the original gimmick. I don't like this with him. He was great the way he was. I hope you do something better with him and not screw that up any more than you already have. Stop showing his mouth. I don't like that. His hair either. I don't want to see his hair. Just give him a full mask. He was cool with the skull mask.
Well, I think what would have been cool, I think I agree, is if they would just kept the overall costume, but instead of just get rid of the red, get blue on him at least. At least he still has an overall attire, but you just change his attire slightly with a different color.
I think they should have made him look like a Power Ranger with a skull.
Go. Wait, which one? The Blue Ranger or the Black one?
You know what? I think that they should have just made him look like a Power Ranger with a skull.
So like a Sin Cara.
No, I was thinking more like if Power Rangers were to, recruit Skeletor.
That's their comparison. So what next?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
So what?
Oh my god!
So what? Would that mean that Rhea Repulsa would have to get like He-Man?
No, because He-Man would never let her get him. Because he has the power.
I have the power!
And all she can do is throw her staff.
Make my He-Man!
The little guy that goes, floats around maybe.
But continue.
Anyways, I'm not surprised this match was decent because even though I didn't see it, he's telling me all about this. But I obviously he didn't make a very big impact, which is upsetting to me because there's no point in changing his character and then making him lose.
But then,
just saying, because he hasn't had his push yet. You're gonna change his character, you got to give him a push before you kill him. He's gonna have to push his way through the enemy lines before they turn around and shoot him. Okay, just saying. Okay, moving on.
You could just go back just a little bit. Next match.
I'm still right. Okay, here, let me get out of the screen.
No. I got it. Yes, that is your freaking taunt. Next is Ethan Carter versus Hama.
I don't see that match. I don't see anything like that. Ethan Carter can't wrestle his way out of a nutsack.
Hama's a big guy that looks like Rikishi. and Ethan Carter just won. There's nothing into this match. I'll flat out say this was probably the worst match on the card. That I'm flat out saying. I'm not saying because I don't like Ethan Carter or Hama. It just really did not really work well together. I'm sorry. The only thing we commented that entire review was just Hama being big and giving him stink face. That was pretty much it. So,
oh, his face got painted in the stink? Oh, very nice.
yes.
So actually, it served a purpose. Maybe now he will leave and go do movies versus wrestle.
Who?
Who do you think? Ethan Carter. 333!
I remember this guy. He was so over freaking Ethan Carter's like, oh, this guy's a great wrestler. This guy's
He was!
awesome.
When they brought him in, he was impressive. What does he do now? Nothing.
He was never impressive to begin with. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see this guy. I was like, driver, slam. Okay, is that it? Like
Before he became the faction, when he was just himself,
he didn't do anything.
he had like almost a month of just being himself, being his own wrestler, and then it turned out he's related to someone, ruined the whole thing. So, honestly, it serves a purpose, sort of. But other than that, again, I'm going to say it again. I feel that this was just another useless match. Next match.
Okay.
MVP
versus
Kazuma Sakamoto.
Sakamoto. I'll say this right now. I almost completely forgot this. MVP before, I think he left WWE for a while. He joined New Japan Pro Wrestling. Even MVP in his little interview before the match, he said that he grew up with New Japan because he loved the style. He thought that it was a great challenge in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's where he built up his character more and built up his wrestling. That's where he stayed for a while.
Doesn't him and the Great Muda have the same finisher?
No, Great Muta has the Shining Wizard, which is the knee. He has the drive-by kick, which is the kick.
It's an actual. It's like a lower form of the Brogue kick.
Yeah.
What a ripoff!
Hey, he came up with it first.
No, he didn't.
That's MVP's move. It's not a ripoff because he gets him on the ground and does that when he's on the ground. He doesn't go, bro, bam, kick.
Okay, it's kind of on the bicycle kick. I admit that, but still.
Yeah. But anyways, like
I
I
haven't
said,
seen MVP put anybody out of work for that yet.
like I said, so
Yeah.
it was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting because he was in New Japan, he trained there for a while. So this match had me a little bit more sense. I would say that MVP had his best attire, which was the Punisher attire, which had the skull on it. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so, and like I said, this match wasn't too bad. I kind of wish they did a little bit more, but Sakamoto's not that bad. I just kind of wish I was seeing a little bit more, but MVP ended up winning. But yeah, it was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it was an okay wrestling match.
So far, that's one good match to two gives a match.
Well, one that was bad, the other was just okay.
Which one was okay? The Ethan Carter match?
No, the MVP one I just said. Ethan Carter was a terrible one.
Sure, 1-1-1. Okay, great, and meh.
Okay. Now next match, we have Samoa Joe defeating Low Ki and Kaz Hayashi. Sorry about that. I would say this was match of the night by far.
I know how to say your name.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. This was by far match of the night. These guys worked. All of them worked really well.
No surprise. Again, one of my second favorite wrestler in TNA, Low Ki. He pushes himself to the limit.
And he did a lot of cool stuff. And the best part is you didn't make Samoa Joe be the only dominant one. You made all of them look good. You made Kaz look good, doing a lot of cool stuff. You made Low Ki doing a lot of stuff that I don't think I remember him seeing doing. Samoa Joe was still good, even though I'm not the biggest Samoa Joe fan. But at least he's making an X Division Championship. At least means something again, which is I can say because he was one of the first best X Division wrestlers, along with AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels, when they had that feud, which is by far their best X Division feud. Nothing's going to beat that. But that was by far. But it was still a great match, a lot of fast pace, a lot of big spots and good moves. So, and even though Samoa Joe ended up winning, it was still an awesome match. It was very quick, like an X Division match should be. I think the only gripe I would like to see is at least another Japanese wrestler in there. So it's like 2 TNA and then 2 Japanese wrestlers, and it'd be a fatal 4-way or something. I think that would have been a little bit better. and it'll be a lot quicker. It'll be more fast-paced. That was my only gripe, or at least add some sort of stipulation, maybe like a Ultimate X match or something. I know I rarely say that, but it just kind of spice up a little bit. At least maybe add another guy or two, and then maybe a little stipulation. That's just my only gripe. Overall, it was still an awesome match.
X Division is supposed to be at least a 5-man match, in my opinion. If you're going to do a pay-per-view event, you need to push that X Division match to the limits of what it can do, and then add something more to get the nice little push into Suicide. Unfortunately, apparently, nobody wants to go that far anymore. I'm surprised.
Well, rarely anyway.
Yeah, there goes X Division.
Well, they can still do X Division, right?
Anyways, moving on.
Okay, next was Novus, that's the one tag team. First defeated Andy Wu and El Hijo.
We'll just call him Pantera.
Pantera. So it's Novus.
Andy Wu and Pantera.
Panteras are the guys that were the masked wrestlers.
Zero and Yus. Is it okay?
I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyways, Brandon actually got here by the time the match. Oh, it's going a little bit.
And I personally thought that this was completely and utterly like a commercial. I don't recognize those guys. I didn't need to watch this stuff. It turns out it was one of the matches. It's like, oh, that was kind of weak.
Well, I kind of have to disagree with you. I mean, I agree with you on. I can't understand why you would say it was a break because you don't know any of these guys.
True.
But I would. But like I said, they were all impressive.
It's good for relations with the companies. It's good to give them a push with Wrestling One. These guys need to be recognized because they are doing the same things that everyone else is doing, kinda. But at the same time, I think it would have been more appropriate just to keep the vibe going with the whole TNA versus Wrestling One.
Almost kind of like an alliance type thing.
Yeah, I did not like the fact that this was all Wrestling One match. I did not care for that. Keep in mind, TNA had their own a couple matches were all just their fun, but it's their pay-per-view event. Okay, you know the one where they had Sonata defeat.
Well, we'll talk about that one later. But like I said, I can't agree with you. Like, I'm not saying this match was terrible. To me, I thought this was awesome because you got to see what these guys could do at Wrestle One, and that's the one thing I'm going to give TNA credit for. And this one was the fact they helped promote Wrestling One, which is a wrestling that not a whole lot of Americans watch. But the fact that they promoted this and letting us see all these guys that they have would actually make us want to watch Wrestling One. So just in case like TNA goes out of business or WWE sucks even more, at least we have other wrestling promotions we can watch.
At the end of this one, I'm going to tell you why TNA is going down the toilet faster than the WWE. Okay, just a heads up. Okay, here's a little what's going to happen at the end of this.
Wait, just
okay?
wait.
WWE might be circling the drain, but TNA just officially did like a backflip into the pipe. Okay, with this particular one, I will get to that later.
Yeah. So he's already.
Don't change the channel. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Can I say here? I can't really see you. There you go. Just stay right there.
I'm a lot of me.
So like I said, it was so great.
You love me. I hate you.
I still think the match was great for agility wise, but personally, like I know you'll agree with me because we actually talked about this before we started. This was at least had like the Wolves, like the TNA tag titles on the line against them, against one of those teams, or at least had like Team 3D versus the Wolves versus those two tag teams, like a fatal 4-way tag team for the TNA tag titles. Make it
for the tag titles. It could have just been straight up 4-way.
Or like I'm pretty sure they have the Wrestle One TNA tag team.
They faced each other. They've already faced each other a couple times. Obviously,
they probably have.
How about give them someone new? So a tag team faces a new tag team. New tag team versus new tag team. They've never faced each other. What will they do? Do something innovative. Don't do the same things over and over again and post them on a new pay-per-view event.
Well, like I said, we don't know if these guys have actually faced off. Maybe you're right. Maybe they have faced off in the past. But remember, we've never seen it. So we can't just judge and say, oh, these guys have done this a million times because we don't know that. And that's why I'm saying this is good.
Can we just say that they WWE'd it? Done this a million times, doesn't seem to say it well enough. They WWE.
No, we're not going to compare the Dolph Ziggler Kofi Kingston. Come on, yeah, man, they've done that match so many times.
I can't wait to see who attacks Kingston from behind to take his place in the Elimination Chamber this year.
You really went the Edge route?
Twice.
No.
Twice.
No, it does not. It's never happened twice. It's only happened once.
Oh, that's right. It was at the Royal Rumble, right?
No, it was at the No Way Out pay-per-view. Right before Kingston went to his first chamber match, Edge attacked because he lost the WWE Championship at that same pay-per-view. And remember, I showed you that match like a year ago.
I've seen it, but it's happened twice.
It's not happened twice.
I object, and
I'm 100% right. You know it. I'm 100% right. That's only happened once.
You can't say that while wearing that shirt.
Woo, woo, woo. You know it. I mean, it's that great, Joe.
Let me phrase it. I love you, and I hate him.
No, you love me.
I can't do that hard enough. I might,
Well, anyways,
I might sprain my finger.
Well, like I said, just like at least had some sort of TNA tag team in there, and then there would be a fight match. But for what it was still good.
You're T-Rex in it.
I got a mowing my front lawn. But anyways, now let's move on. It was still a good match in my eyes. So, next is Team 3D, Bully Ray Devon versus a basic Tommy Dreamer.
This match was a no-holds-barred that we were not told about. It was like, oh, awesome.
So, yeah, that was the one thing I was complaining. I remember this telling from the review in the live reaction. So, they're not going to do no disqualification. I don't even know it's no disqualification. I thought it was a regular tag team. But apparently they used weapons. I thought, well, does this mean they're get disqualified? Well, apparently the referee saw a bunch of weapons used, so I was assuming it's no disqualification.
He thought he was going to see a good show.
No, I just thought...
He sits there and he goes, I'll allow it.
No, I was just...
They watched him do a tag team flapjack and a thumbtack. He's like, I'll allow it.
No, but like I know what a lot of people probably think.
What's the point of Sonata blue? Wait, no, same question, same thing. I want to just put this out here. What's the point of Sonata blue misting Tajiri underneath the ring?
Wait, we're not gonna go there.
No, I have to point this out. What's the point of that if they're not going to disqualify him for it anyway? Why go underneath the ring to do it? There was no disqualification in any of these matches.
No, there were. Regular match. That's a triple threat, so there are disqualifications. There are no disqualifications, but they never use weapons. So then, no weapons. No weapons, and then a little bit. So that's only two matches where they use weapons.
Yes, but neither one was said they were going to be allowed. So
I guess maybe that's. I guess that's Wrestle 1 for you, where they can allow to use weapons.
Hey,
which is fine.
Good for you.
But like I said, a lot of people will think this is random, and I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard about this, I thought, "Why are they doing this? Why can't you do Team 3 against another team with another tag team?" But it makes sense for two reasons. One, it's their TNA Hall of Fame. They do it every year at Bound for Glory, and two, they are all friends, so it makes sense.
Don't say every year for Bound for Glory. Don't even say that again. No, don't say that again.
They do TNA Hall of Fame.
That's fine. They do TNA Hall of Fame match every year. Gotcha.
No, not Hall of Fame match, but they always do the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah, but don't say every year at Bound for Glory. Don't even say it anymore. You're not allowed. That phrase is no longer allowed. No.
Well, we'll explain why he's
at the end. Like I said, at the end, it'll be official.
Everybody will catch
No one
this.
will ever say ever again. Every year at Bound for Glory, that phrase will never be used again. At the end of this, no one will ever say it again.
And I'm gonna probably step back because he's gonna get pissed.
No, he's gonna agree with me. He's like, "Come on, do it." Lay into him. He's like.
But like I said, it was no holds barred type of match, like hardcore. It wasn't bad. At least we got to see some weapons in it. And
Tommy Dreamer didn't have a heart attack, so I'm like,
hey, at least they had some weapons. It was actually entertaining. It wasn't like match of the night.
And we got to watch Abyss eat thumbtacks. That was pretty good. That was.
You didn't even react to the video. I remember live reaction. Got right when you hit the flat energy.
The double flapjack. It wasn't as impressive. The first time I saw it, it was more to it. Jeff Hardy put his momentum into that flapjack.
That was an alley-oop facebuster.
That's the one that you're referring to. The flapjack.
That was the flapjack.
Flapjacks are okay. I see them all the time.
But you like the flapjack, though.
Well, yeah. Who doesn't like?
And plus, it's double flapjack face first of freaking thumbtacks.
Technically, it was hands first into thumbtacks.
Well, it looked like face
he went
first.
like this, and only his hands made it into it.
It looked like his face went first, or maybe he did like this, where his hands.
And
like,
he went like that, but only his hands reached the thumbtacks. And I was like, you saw him sticking out of his hands and a few in his forearms, but nothing was on his face. And he's like, I was like, they're your hands. I stuck my hand on a frying pan and gone, ah! And you go, still works. And
Well, anyways, so it was not bad. Next is Havoc versus Velvet Sky.
Go ahead and say it.
It was a burial. I'm not gonna defend it. It was a burial. Havoc. Well, the only thing I like about this is they're. Well, I don't know if I actually like this or if I hate this, but they're kind of making Havoc to be the next Awesome Khan. Because remember, Awesome Khan, which is Carva, used to be in TNA. She was the Beth Phoenix of TNA, where she was big and she was dominant. She destroyed everybody in her path.
And then her brain stopped working, and she's like, we'll go back to the Jew. Did you like that one?
No.
You look at your own monkey face like,
You're such an ass.
monkey? No, not for monkey?
You're such an ass.
Oh, you have no idea. They crowned me captain of their flagship, the USS.
Well, anyways, the only problem I would say is I kind of wish they, and I can't believe I'm making this comparison, but I know I will do it. It's like the only thing I would have to say about it's working. The only thing I have to say is I have to compare it to the Sheamus. With Sheamus first, just hear me out. No, just hear me out. Sheamus when he first came in, he was that guy that destroyed people. Can you please let me finish?
Yeah.
Okay. Sheamus, when he first came in back in 2009, he was that dominant warrior. He was that guy that was that destroyed everybody. Everyone thought he was going to be. He was almost like a Brock Lesnar in a way. How he just destroyed people. He would demolish them, and then he went after Cena at TLC, and he beat Cena, and nobody expected it in a tables match. People were shocked, and that's when Sheamus won his first WWE Championship. And they had build because they built it up for 6 months. Havoc, I would love to see Havoc if they build her up first for like a good 6, 7
she
months.
didn't have a match.
Like a good 6, 7 months, and then have her, win the title, go like an undefeated streak or something like that.
But her first match was for the world title.
No, her first match was the Battle Royal. That's what it was. It was the Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah.
And the number one contendership, and Havoc won that. And then Havoc beat Gail Kim. So that's really 3 matches Havoc has had so far. In the past, I think, less than a month that she's been here. But like I said, I don't mind if Havoc is champion, but I really wish they had more built to it. It made her more to that dominant monster, like an Awesome Khan or
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Does not give a
Brass ass?
well, obviously, but a background to the matches, a purpose for the match. It's just a random. I'm sorry.
Heck, Angelina Gail Kim had better, storyline going to that. They actually had builds for a couple months.
Well, they have history. That's all that was. But
yeah, but like with Havoc, I'm not saying it's a bad thing Havoc's champion. I just wish there was more built to it, and you would slowly build her up, and then like they should have done with Tensai, where Tensai was going undefeated when he came back, and then you could have had Tensai beat Lord Tensai going on the streak.
Tensai?
It was John Cena, I believe, who beat it for the first time.
Not.
It was John Cena, but
I thought it was what's his name? Sheamus. I thought it was Sheamus.
No, it wasn't Sheamus. It was ever since John Cena beat him the second time. Then that's when Sheamus and Tyson Kidd guys like that were beating.
Everybody started getting their kicks in. Okay, Havoc and Velvet Sky.
It was a burial. Havoc destroyed Velvet Sky.
So it's just like another match.
It was like a Brock Lesnar John Cena match, but shorter. Come on, that's a great comparison.
Nice knockers in between.
Yeah, but what about you? What were your thoughts? I need to do that.
My thoughts were.
Hey, at least you got this. You did this in live reactions.
Yes, I did. It was awesome. I was like, I couldn't bear hug her because my hands would be too busy.
But anyways, let's move on to the.
I'd probably pin her anyways.
Anyways, let's move on to the main event. It was the Great Muta and Tajiri, the Japanese Bustle, versus James Storm in the Great Sonata in a tag team match. I think this was probably, you'll agree with me, this was the main match that was actually built a couple months before.
This was the only match where they actually built it up appropriately. They didn't build anything else up on this. So go ahead. Keep going.
Like I said, this match was a 5-star classic, but it wasn't a total crap fest either.
It's one that you will remember.
It was just there for like the moment. I like the fact that Sonata still has a little bit in him. I still like the fact that Jerry has a little bit of agility in him, and I like the fact how they use Sonata a little bit more. And even though I'm not gonna lie, I don't think they used James Storm a whole lot. They made focus on the Japanese wrestlers a lot more if you thought about it.
Yeah, it's true. I did not like the way this match ended, though. I don't like the fact that they shoved the Dudley Boys down our throat again. But honestly, I did like what they were doing with it. I don't like the fact that the Great Muta licks his.
I didn't even see that, so I can't even
I don't
argue.
like the fact that the Great Muta licks his tag team partners. I really didn't like that. I'm like, if I were to Jerry, I'd have kicked him in his face. I wouldn't even move the rest of my body. I would just be like in that crowd, just fucking. Whap! I would have Zohan'd him. Okay?
Yeah.
Just saying. But the match was good.
It was good for
It was
a
a little
match.
more slow paced than I thought it would be because Muta is.
Well, like I said, he's in his 50s, so he can't really blame
obviously.
him.
But
he still has a lot.
like
So
I
like
said, I did not like the fact that they had to go under the mat for Sonata to miss to Jerry. That didn't make
Well,
any sense.
actually, I forgot to tell you, in that Mad match, I actually did go under the ring in the very first match, too, for a little bit. So
Yeah,
that's,
they didn't have
so
to-
the first...
I want to see the miss. I want to see him go. I want to see that. I don't want to see him go. And then hitting him after he done it. I don't want to see that.
Like, we don't
okay?
want to see them, like, eating Smurfs under the ring.
Oh, someone went face first into a bad blueberry pie. I'm just saying, obviously someone had a blue waffle. And let's face facts, the blue waffle was leaking all the way down Sonata's arm the whole time. It was like, oh, someone doesn't know how to use a sprayer. So this match it had some comedic relief, but it was missing more to it. However, I'd like to see what happens later on. That's the good part. It did create the I want to see what happens afterwards.
Well, I kind of like the little tease they
hopefully
did.
after they've taken a shower.
I like the little tease how you think, oh my god, they're attacking Muta Treasure. Are they going to bring both of them in or one of them into their stable? And then out comes 3D. I knew someone else was going to come out. I just didn't know really who.
Which, if I think right, could introduce Spike Dudley back into it. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
You just want Spike Dudley back. Spike Dudley!
But also,
like, the Diamond match was good. And like I said, I still think the Samoa Joe was by far the match of the night.
alright, so we're gonna get all the overall. Okay, overall, take it.
Okay, so we're just gonna quickly go back. Now we're gonna name all the matches from good, okay, to shit. So, first match, good. Second match, shit. Third match, it was okay. Fourth match, good. Fifth match, good. Team 3D, it was okay. At least entertaining. Seventh match, shit. Eighth match, it was okay. So overall, there was a pretty good variety of goods and okays. So if I had to rate it, I'd probably give it like a B minus. Just because there's a lot more positives in my mind than negatives. But like I said, there are a lot of negatives I forgot to point out. But this is when Brandon comes in.
I gotta stretch. Hold on, I gotta stretch my middle fingers here. TNA. This is Bound for Glory.
There we go.
Where's the Bound for Glory tournament? Where's the World Heavyweight Championship match from the Bound for Glory tournament? You screwed the whole thing. Okay, so your WrestleMania sucked. Your traditional match, you didn't do. Your biggest thing for the whole year, which makes people go to your shows during the week and then really tune in at your pay-per-view event, you didn't do. And what's worse is that they've been mentioning the Bound for Glory tournament all year long. All year. I kid you not.
I don't remember them saying actual tournament,
You
but
gotta listen to Taz. Taz has been talking about it all year. Now, these guys are really kicked. They're looking forward to that Bound for Glory tournament. No one who can win out of that. And you remember that. And remember this. Bound for Glory tournament. And he keeps talking about it. And it's not like he's face to face on the screen talking about it. He mentions it like the WWE mentions their $9.99 thing while the wrestlers are wrestling. So you're getting $9.99 backflip, $9.99 sumoplex, $9.99 match is over, and you're like click before they go $9.99 again.
that's a tricky game.
But that's what he was doing. He was hinting at the Bound for Glory tournament. And what they do? They didn't do it.
The first time ever.
This is not Bound for Glory. This was at the most, on my grading scale, would be at most a D-. This was a shit show. Okay? I liked one match. I possibly could have liked 2 others in this entire thing. You ended it a half hour early. You didn't have your tag team championships. You didn't have your world heavyweight championship. You didn't have your Bound for Glory tournament. You screwed the whole pay-per-view. So congratulations, this one sucked. And you know, this is no longer a WrestleMania quality. This will never be looked as a WrestleMania. This isn't even good enough to be compared to SummerSlam. Okay, I would rather have watched the Brock Lesnar match with Cena again. The one where he does 16 suplexes?
Yeah, 16.
16 suplexes to win the World Heavyweight Championship. That beatdown. I'd rather watch that match versus this entire show. This was a TNA. This wasn't even TNA. This was like, remember when we used to say that the SmackDown show was really terrible and we refer to it as being the worst thing? This was a SmackDown graded pay-per-view. The people who paid to go see this, if they were not fans of the Wrestling One, we're probably going to want their money back. Number one. That's number one. Number 2, the people who paid $40 to see this on pay-per-view and up, depending if they want to see it in HD, they're not going to be happy with this either. You screwed up the whole thing. You should have changed the pay-per-view event and could call it something else. And postponed the Bound for Glory for being another month later. Like, we messed up, blah, 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 sorry. And it made Bound for Glory something else. Like the next month and done a tournament. But they didn't do any of it. They didn't do any of the traditional matches. So, let's do a scale of 1 to 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, -2. 1 and 2. There it is.
Like I said, well, you're, like I said, I'm not.
I forgot about that. You were right, too. You know what would have been great if you'd taken your tag teams, those 2 tag teams. This was my idea. Take the 2 tag teams that nobody knew and have them wrestle TNA's people. Keep this theme going where there's one from one show.
Like we said before, like an alliance.
Versus one from another one, right? And you're sitting there going, well, we already had the Dudley Boys wrestle. Well, let me think. You have the tag team champions, the Wolves. They could have defended or at least competed against one of the teams. And the ones could have defended against, the Hardy Boys. Anybody else think of that? And it would have actually created more time on the pay-per-view, making it worthwhile seeing. Because remember, it ended a half hour. No, it was like 25 minutes early. It was less than 3 hours.
Like 20 minutes.
It was like, really? You could have put at least 2 more matches in there. And then...
Or at least one bigger match.
And again, like I said, you could have at least had, after MVP defeated Kazma, Sakamoto, you could have had him mouth off and then open challenge any of the
Japanese wrestlers.
The Wrestle One division guys to come out and face
Lashley for the title.
It would have been great. That would have been a good push match, but you didn't do it. So, obviously, 1, you guys don't have any ideas, and 2, your show is starting to bore me. So, good luck with that. That's my idea on the whole thing. Go for it. Finish it up.
Well, like I said, I agree with you on a lot of you. I said, like, I was a little disappointed with the tournament because I even wondered, like, it's getting closer to Bound for Glory. Are they ever even going to do the tournament? When's the tournament coming? How many people are going to be in the tournament? Who's going to win the tournament this time? Could it finally be Gunner's moment, maybe? Is it going to be Manic or Sonata?
Look at all the people that we can list.
Wait.
How many people can we list that weren't even on the show?
Well, there's Kenny King. There was even Kenny King was on the show.
Kenny King never made it to the show. So, like I said, my first idea was that maybe more than half of the guys on their roster said we're not going to Japan. Maybe they just said we're not willing to do it. I don't know. But Kenny King, keep going.
Anderson, Gunner,
the
Hardy Boys.
You got Whack Job. You got the Hardy Boys. You got the Wolves. Keep going.
Let's see. Homicide. You could have Homicide made an X Division match.
Super Max. I haven't seen him for a while.
Hernandez got fired. He got released.
Okay, then we'll take him back off.
Eric Gunn, or Austin Aries.
Those
would have been good.
Austin Aries. That would have been a great thing. Just have Austin Aries do a 1-on-1 match.
Bobby Roode wasn't on the card either.
Bobby Roode wasn't on the card. But
Samuel Shaw, guys like that.
I did Captain Crazy.
Oh, I didn't know that's who you're referring to.
What are the
or what about the knockouts? Like you could
the Bow-Mats, they weren't on there.
The Mandarin, like Crazy Steve or the Freak.
Captain Crayola. Whatever his name is.
DJZ.
DJ Crayola.
I'm gonna call him.
I'm gonna call him DJ Crayola.
The Mandarin.
That will always stand with me. DJ Crayola. I loved that. That was great. Whoever came up with that guy deserves a raise.
That was Taz.
That was
Taz.
Great. No, that was...
no, Taz said that, though. He's the one that said it.
Okay, it was great. The
Mandarin.
So listen, you got Freak, Crazy Steve, and you got Mike Knox.
And don't forget Ray Bell.
You do have, well, I'm not counting women's division because they're always limited with what they do with them. They don't show all of them on any.
Well, these made it forward.
I'm not going to count the women's because they did have a females division match, but they could have brought all the women's and had them. But I don't know if Wrestling One had any women's division.
That was the one thing I'm concerned about too. That's why I didn't know if they did.
We're already up to 18 names that didn't show up. 18 big players that didn't show up.
T-Green, that's another one. That could have been an exhibition.
That would have been another person who could have been there. I don't want to put Shark Boy in there because after seeing him last time, it was like, hey, look, he's the bat.
Bram and Magnus. Why were they part of the tag team?
Bram and Magnus. There's a great one. Let's see here. I still don't know what happened to Crimson. I guess he got fired too.
He was already released a while ago.
I miss Crimson. He was actually pretty good.
I liked him.
I also miss what's his name, Matt Morgan.
No.
No.
I'm glad he got released.
Hey, I like Matt Morgan's thing. However, I didn't see him as a world heavyweight champion.
I was about to say Steen, but he's in WWE right now at the moment, so we can't really say
Kurt Angle didn't show up.
That was even if Kurt Angle didn't wrestle, at least you can make
Kurt Angle didn't make an appearance. Taz didn't make an appearance.
He didn't. No, he was in the commentary. He was in the commentary with Mike.
I didn't hear any of him.
I heard him. He was in commentary.
I didn't hear him at all.
I heard him.
I didn't hear him say "let the pigeons fly" when she cocked it over.
He doesn't do that anymore.
X-rated.
No, he just doesn't do that anymore. Okay. I don't know why.
Well, I'm just saying, more than half their roster didn't show up. Weren't on the card at all, and they could have made this a much better match. I like the fact that they're showing upcoming. It's a really good idea. However, it's Bound for Glory. That is your biggest pay-per-view ever. You don't have a bigger one than this.
The closest one probably for Slammiversary, but for you, it would be Destination X.
Destination X. I
like Destination X.
I know a lot of people like Slammiversary, but I think Destination X is going to be the biggest pay-per-view they're going to ever have. Ever.
Oof.
And after this pay-per-view, I think it's going to be the only one that's going to pay out. I don't think anybody else is going to go to any of them because the X Division is more exciting and more.
Well, because that's the rise of the X Division.
They're more. It's more competitive. It's more challenging to watch what they do in there. It's just so much more, and they can just add all these new people in there. I mean, I didn't know who Amazing Red was, and I saw him on the X Division DVD you burned, and I was like, "Whoa, this guy's pretty good." And what happened? All these guys that were on those X Division matches gone.
Most of them are gone. We have a handful of them now, and then we get new recruits.
What happened with the X Division? It slowed down. What happened to Jay Lethal?
He's in Ring of Honor right now.
Really? You guys let him go?
And then, of course, Consequences Creed's in WWE right now.
Consequences Creed was understandable. That was understandable. Unfortunately, he was not going to use appropriately.
What about Kaz?
They were keeping him in tag team, even during the X Division. They're keeping him as a tag team. Consequences Creed needs to move up to single division, and he's good at what he does. He has the ability to go far. And Kazarian had both. He had the ability to go far, real far, and they let him go. And Daniels, I understood. People were really upset about him using the screwdriver.
People were upset because he wasn't being used right, and they don't.
No. It was his violence. Using the screwdriver thing was a little too far. They didn't like that. Okay, I already saw all the reviews on that. They didn't like that.
The screwdriver thing was back in the Quit match in 2011,
and yet it's still right here in my head. Okay, but I'm just saying.
He didn't get fired.
They let a lot of people go, and they shouldn't have. And then they come out with something like this, and they take the traditions of it. It's like having the WWE having WrestleMania and no championship match.
No. How about this? WrestleMania and no Royal Rumble winner.
How about Royal Rumble and no Royal Rumble?
Then why would you call it Royal Rumble then if there was no Royal
Hell in a
Rumble?
Cell. No Hell in a Cell.
How about Elimination Chamber with no Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, it defeats.
Or Money in the Bank with no Money in the Bank ladder match. I'm not talking about just for a
It's not going to be
championship.
a ladder match anymore. It's just going to be a one-on-one match for the World Heavyweight Championship. No, I'm not watching that shit.
If that starts to happen, that'll be stupid.
Oh yeah, or then I'll have you call the cable company like, I want my money back. Turn it off. I want my money back.
If they didn't have a Money in the Bank ladder match, I would be like, that's it, I'm done. No. Until you put a Money in the Bank ladder match in the last second, I'm not watching.
Royal Rumble is the only one that matters.
And WrestleMania, and Money in the Bank, and sometimes SummerSlam. And Hell in a Cell for me personally.
Royal Rumble is the only one that counts.
I like Royal Rumble, but I'm Hell in a Cell fan because I'm a Hell in a Cell fan. But we could do this debate
Hell in a
more.
Cell fanatic because you have to be fanatic. But I'm just saying that you had Bound for Glory. You didn't have the Bound for Glory tournament. You didn't have a championship. You didn't have the World Heavyweight Championship, and you didn't have the Tag Team Champions defend or even compete. This was you Friday Night SmackDowned it. How about this? We go SmackDown 98 at it.
Well, like I said, this card, if it wasn't Bound for Glory, it was just like another like different pay-per-view, it would have been fine. But like I said, like you said, maybe have like Bound for Glory moved up to like maybe like December or something, like have a couple months.
And then you saw all the people you were here, you did show up. All the people that were on the roster didn't show up. All of them could have been part of the tournament, and then one of them would be in this, but they didn't want to be that either.
And if they're not,
maybe this is going to be the reason why they're going to let go of Kurt Angle. They're like, oh, we blame Kurt Angle for this horrible pay-per-view. We're sorry, you're fired. And then he'll come to WWE. I don't know.
well, Dixie Carter's still in charge. They just have Kurt Angle as their thing there.
Look at what I said. Kurt Angle can team with Sting on WWE now.
Well, like I said, I agree with you on this because we gotta wrap this up. Kind of screwing again.
Okay, so we're just gonna wrap this up.
Like I said, the card is fine, but there was a lot of negatives. Like you said, like now I actually think it back, I'd probably give it at least a C plus, just because it was more of a wrestling show, but at the same
no matter
time,
how much you say it, it is not true.
It's a wrestling show, but it's not a Bound for Glory series. It didn't feel like Bound for Glory.
That's the point I'm making.
I'm not saying that kills it completely. I'm just saying that at least it was watchable for me. Because if it didn't feel like Bound for Glory and all the matches sucked, then I would have ranted on it.
Well, I'm sorry,
shut
but they completely destroyed the Bound for Glory traditions. Everything that it had going for it is gone.
Well, this is how I'm just going to say.
This is like the match where freaking The Undertaker lost. That's how bad this was. It was like
No. Don't even compare. No. That didn't happen.
What?
That didn't happen. No, don't even mention that. I hate that.
It was that level of disappointment.
No, don't even mention that. Never mention that again.
It was that level of disappointment.
Don't even mention that again.
I'm just saying, it was that level of disappointment for me.
Well, for you. Like I said, we have different opinions, but you know what? Maybe after this, maybe you'll realize,
I can't open my eyes that big, though. I can't do it.
Well, maybe after this, maybe after looking back, maybe they'll realize, you know what? Maybe they were doing this on purpose. Maybe they just want to try something a little bit new and just want to see if it worked. And since
what's
maybe
great for doing that? A smaller pay-per-view event than your biggest one of the year.
Well, now they have a chance to either. We still got another Bound for Glory, so maybe they'll actually give it back to tournament, or maybe they'll do something else like this again.
You mean
we don't know.
Next year's Bound for Glory?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a whole year before the next Bound for Glory. Yeah. That's a whole year before Bound for Glory, which means that this one's officially over, which means they screwed it up.
We'll just see what they do.
What are they going to do a double Bound for Glory? The one who wins the first one gets a shot at the X Division, and the one that wins the second one gets a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And then at the end, whoever's champion of both of them, those two will fight each other, and the winner will take both championships because, we're stupid.
But, like I said, we have different opinions on this. I'm going to say this pay-per-view was okay. Like I said, there was that negative, one big negative, and I do agree with him on that. He flat out just says this thing was terrible. I think it was okay, and this is a wrestling product for me.
It's because they killed the tradition of Bound for Glory. Like I said, it's like having Hell in a Cell without a Hell in a Cell match. It's like going to WrestleMania and not having a championship match. That's the big one. There's not a world championship match here. You know what happens at your biggest pay-per-view of the year? There's a championship match. Duh.
Even if they didn't do the Bound for Glory tournament, at least have the world title match.
I mean, if they did that small one where they just did a promo where they took someone from the other division and had them wrestle Lashley for the title, and even if he totally just destroyed him and ripped his arm off and shoved it up his own butt, I wouldn't have cared. The championship is being defended. That's what makes their biggest pay-per-view events worth watching. If you do not defend your World Heavyweight Championship, your biggest title on the biggest pay-per-view event, you have screwed up the pay-per-view event.
Now, actually,
aside from an injury, you screwed it up. And then, like I said, there's a reason why there's a tournament, a Bound for Glory tournament, because that is a tradition. That's what made this pay-per-view worthwhile.
Because it was something different. It almost looked like a King of the Ring in a way.
And they didn't do it. Nah, I'm too tired for it. Too much thinking.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's my bottom line. You're right. This is going to be one of those Godzilla type of arguments with us. I can't agree with you. This was a terrible pay-per-view event. I liked one match. I liked one match. I probably would have liked 3 if I'd seen the X Division and the Manic match. But I only liked one match out of the 5 I got to see.
Okay.
4 I got to see.
Yeah, you've already said that.
So,
but like I said, we'll definitely do Hell in a Cell, maybe live reactions. We'll do a review of that. Maybe Hell in a Cell would be better. We'll just see how it is. We'll compare the two and just see how both of them do. So all I want you guys to do is comment down below. Tell me, what were your honest thoughts about For Glory? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with Brendan? Or do you have your own different opinion? And don't forget to vote down below for your wrestler talk, who's better video, and your wrestler women's video. Wrestler talk video, vote as many times as you want. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget, more Halloween based videos will be on your way. So I'm Preston.
and don't forget, I'm Captain Awesome. I'm sorry, Captain Asshole.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right. So that's pretty much it. Well, Awesome's cool too. But
Well,
anyways,
everybody knows that.
yeah. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and live reactions will be posted very soon. So take care.